Thanks for joining me on the 249 Marathon Project Week 8 training sessions video. In this video, I'll go through all of next week's training sessions. And if you stick around to the end, I'll go through the 5 things that I do for injury prevention. Over the course of a 16-week training block, so many things can get in the way, and I do a few things that you may find useful. If you like this content, maybe you're a runner yourself. Maybe you're training for a sub 250 marathon at the minute. Maybe you just like the topic of running. I would really appreciate you hitting the subscribe button. It would make a big difference to me and hopefully get this 249 project in front of more people, hold me accountable, and ultimately make this whole thing more achievable. Okay, let's go straight into the sessions. One of the things I'd like to just throw out there, first of all, is that in week 6, I did my first split session for a Sunday long run, which was part of the run at sub 7-minute miles or sub 420 per K, which is just getting some pace into my Sunday run. What I learned from that week, that was in week 6, was that I probably put more intensity into that week, and it took away from my objective for the Sunday run with the close to marathon pace miles. So that said, here in week 8, I've adjusted my plan a bit so that I'm taking a little bit of the intensity out. I'm still keeping some fast miles in early in the week on Tuesday, some steady miles in, but from Wednesday on, it's going to be easy running and a focus on that Sunday run. And I really want to put those last 8 miles of the 20 miler in at those sub 7s or sub 420s per K. That'll make it interesting. So that's something that I took away from week 6, but I'll go through that later on in this. So let's start first of all with Monday. Monday is going to be a non-running day. I may do some hiking, maybe take the dog up into the mountains, or possibly a bike ride. So yeah, that's Monday. Monday is a non-running day. Tuesday is a split session. I have 6 miles easy to start, or 10K, and I follow that up with 4 miles at tempo pace, which is sub 6:30, and that's 7K-ish. That's my first pacey miles of the week, and it's coming off of week 7's Sunday run, which is a 26-mile long slow run. So I will have tired legs. The rest day on Monday will help, but I'm sure I'm going to be feeling it still on Tuesday. So I think 6:30 is achievable. We'll see what happens. I should be comfortable enough at that. Wednesday is a 14 miler. It's a midweek medium long run at 14 miles or 23K. Easy effort. I should just feel relatively comfortable the whole way around. The way these runs have been going, I've been feeling the after effects of my previous day speed sessions. I suspect now that the temperatures are cooling off here, that I'll find less and less fatigue in my legs after the speedier sessions, and hopefully we'll be recovering a little bit quicker. I'll be depleting my energy stores a lot slower than I would have been in the heat. Thursday is a 10 miler or 16K. Once again, easy effort. Should be comfortable enough. Similar to week 7, where the second medium long run of the week felt a little bit easier than the first one after a speed session. I suspect it'll be the same in week 8. On Friday, it's my social 5K run. No real change there from my normal social run on a Friday. It'll be a nice conversational run with friends, a little bit of coffee afterwards, but there is no second session like there has been every other week. It'll just be the 5K. Saturday is a 5 miler or 8K easy run. Once again, I'm setting myself up nicely for Sunday's tough session. That's about it there. So Sunday is a 20 miler with the first 12 miles slow, relatively easy, and the last 8 miles at a good hard effort. So it'll be sub 7 minute miles or sub 420s per K for 8 miles or 13 kilometers. Looking forward to this one. I'm curious how my body will react, giving myself a little bit less intensity earlier in the week and saving myself up for this run. This is a key session for me going into Valencia. I feel real confident that if I can nail these Sunday hard efforts, holding the speed endurance for longer, I think that's the difference maker between Valencia and what was the 254 finish in Manchester. So those are the sessions. As far as strength and conditioning goes, I've upped my reps this past week to 50 reps per exercise, keeping the plank at 90 seconds. But other than that, it's 50 reps. Yoga, I will shoot for my 3 sessions of yoga per week. It's been going up and down, but I'll continue to shoot for 3 20-minute sessions at the very least. Okay, and thanks for sticking around to this part of the video. This is a few minutes with the coach, and in this segment, I'll go through the 5 things that I do for injury prevention, and hopefully, you may find a few tips here and there that'll help you out as well. So the first thing that I do, and probably the most important thing, is I add strength and conditioning into my routine. Every single day, we talk about this every single week, I'm doing my 20-minute body weight workout. Now, I've probably gone into why I do this as opposed to weights or any other kind of strength and conditioning. I find the 20-minute body weight exercise routine really useful. I feel really strong, very good core, even my arms, chest, legs. I'm hitting all of my body parts that I need to hit. And in addition, I'm not overtraining any particular body part. The other thing is, it's only 20 minutes. It doesn't feel like a burden. It just means I will always do it every day. And so far, I'm into almost through 7 weeks, and I have not missed a single day of my body weight routine. I only do it on the weekdays. I don't do it on the weekends. Gives me a little bit of a break, but there. That's why I do the 20-minute body weight workout. It has been really good for me over the last few years, and so I'll stick with it. Okay, now the second thing that I do is I ensure that I get a sports massage every 2 to 3 weeks. When we're putting this kind of volume on the roads, it's important to look after your muscles that are doing all the hard work. So as you run all these miles, your leg muscles, even everything, your shoulders, your back, everything tends to shorten and become more and more tight. Sports massage will re-lengthen the muscles, loosen them up, and ensure that those niggles and the aches and pains don't become injuries. So I'm fortunate that I'm married to a really good sports massage therapist. However, it's not always easy still to get an appointment. So every 2 to 3 weeks is, for me, an ideal number of sports massages. I know for a lot of people, if you've had that done before, it can be painful. However, the more often you get a sports massage done, the less painful they are, and the more effective they are for, keeping your muscles supple and loose and feeling good and ready to add those hard miles back into your plan. Okay, the third thing that I do is I mix up my terrain. So I will often run in the trails, in the mountains, on the roads. If I had grass in Spain, I would be running on the grass. And there's a lot of benefits to that. First of all, the joints, right? So if you're running on concrete or tarmac roads day in and day out, those joints are going to be feeling a lot more sore than if you were mixing it up and getting a few miles on the grass, on the trails, in the mountains. So for one thing, it's less repetitive stress on the joints. Secondly, you're working on balance, you're working on coordination, you're working on other things when you're not on the road. I don't have a track. There's another place that's really good for training on, obviously. A track has more give, more bounce, more return. A third benefit of changing up the terrain is that when you're on the grass or you're on the trails or in the mountains, there's more give under your underfoot, which means it's harder, which means you're getting more bang for your buck out of your training. You're putting in more of an effort, especially if you're trying to keep a specific pace. That is putting in more effort. So there's three benefits to that. Number 4 is yoga and additional stretching. Mobility exercise comes into this as well. Similar to sports massage, when I'm putting in my effort into yoga and additional stretching and even mobility, I'm holding stretches longer. I'm adding mobility to my muscles. I'm doing a lot of the things that sports massage does, but I'm doing it on a more regular basis. And I'm holding stretches and I'm lengthening my muscles and I'm just giving myself a lot more recovery from the hard sessions. If you're not used to yoga, I would highly recommend trying it out. I love it, and it's what I do for more everyday type of injury prevention. And number 5 is I maintain a really good shoe rotation. I'll post up a picture of my current shoe rotation, but I think I have 8 to 9 pairs of trainers that I rotate consistently. So very seldom will I wear the same pair of trainers twice in 1 week. So what difference would that make? Why would you do that? Well, there's a number of reasons to keep a good shoe rotation. First of all, your foot strike will be slightly different in each different pair of trainers. So they'll have different wear patterns on them. There'll be a different insole. Your mechanics will be slightly different depending on the heel drop. The weight of the shoe will be different. So tiny, slight differences make a big difference, especially when you're going for a long run. You could be putting on 25,000 steps, right? 25,000 strides is a lot of strides in one shoe. Imagine doing that over the course of a week where you may be getting 120,000 strides. If you're doing all of them in the same shoe week after week after week, there's a very good chance of repetitive stress injuries there. So another good reason for a shoe rotation is you get more wear and tear out of each pair of shoes. So I keep my shoes until they're well past their sell-by date. And I'll keep them for the shorter runs, the easier runs, and the runs that I'm not too concerned about hitting pace. Those I will use older shoes, ones that have quite a bit of wear and tear, but they're not getting an additional 100 miles a week. I'm putting in little bits and pieces here and there. It also means that I'm getting more bang for my buck. If I'm buying a new pair of trainers every 4 months, 5 months, every 500K, that'll add up. Where at this point with 8, 9 pair of trainers in my rotation, I don't have to do that. Now that does mean there's been an investment over the years, but some of my trainers are 2 years old and I'm still wearing them. So bang for buck. That's it for the week 8 training sessions video. I will catch up to you on Monday and have yourself a great weekend.